family business in my electorate wrote to me they arrived in Australia as refugees in the early 1980s with no money to their name. They borrowed, they scraped, they sacrificed. They survived droughts and floods, sleepless nights and real financial fear. They went without their own wages so they could pay their staff. They missed their children growing up because they worked 7 days a week. In the early years, they could not afford cleaners, so they scrubbed the factory toilets themselves. More than a decade on, that business is still standing. It is, they believe, the last processor in Sydney still handling onions grown entirely here in Australia. It employs local people, my constituents. It supports dozens of other small businesses around it, and every single day it fights to survive against cheap imports from overseas. For that family, the sale of their business one day is not a windfall. It is their retirement. It is the self-funded safety net they spent more than a decade building, so they would never have to depend on anyone else, neither on their children nor on government handouts. They fear this bill will wipe that safety net out. They put it plainly, penalising small business owners and discouraging people from taking a risk does nothing at all to help a single family into a home. And if you stripped away the final reward for that risk, the next generation of hard-working migrants and battlers will simply stop having a go. The businesses that anchor communities like mine will never be started in the first place. His concern is that removing the long-standing capital gains discount on shares and other investments and replacing it with a much harsher regime built around a 30% tax floor fails to recognise the real risks that are inherent in any investment decision. He said it leaves hard-working savers with a miserable choice. Take a big risk for a heavily taxed reward, or play it safe and let their money sit idle in the bank. Neither, he said, helps a local family build an independent future. He's tired, he said, of being treated like a cash cow for the federal budget.